Welcome to your dynamic warm-up, 5 minutes total. Felix, you ready?
Do it.
Let's get right into it. So we're gonna start with a cat to camel here. We're gonna push that spine up and then move that spine right down into that reverse direction. From there, right into a thread the needle, bring that arm down and through, and then switch, other hands going right out to the other side. From there, we'll go into a wide mountain climber, high plank position. One foot's coming to the outside of that hand, alternating feet one at a time here.
Try to get that heel
walk those
down.
hands all the way back up and stand up tall and go right back down here into that plank walkout. As an option, you can bend your knees on the way down and make it a little easier. Then we're gonna go into a lateral shift to punch. So take a nice lateral lunge position, sit those hips back, opposite arm is punching here, nice and controlled. Then we're gonna get that heart rate elevated just a bit here, right with that seal jack. Great job, Felix, just pumping those arms, jumping those feet out at the same time. You have 5 minutes, let's get warmed up.
And begin. So 30 seconds in our cat camel. Notice that our cat and camel is actually the same move. It says arched spine through the back. So normally in our cool down or our stretching, I make you do a cat cow where you drop the back way flat or way down. I want you to keep it flat, arch it up, and then come back to neutral. We are not dipping through the spine, only lifting up and then flattening. Threading the needle, put that right hand down, left arm up, inhale it up, and exhale, twist it through. You don't have to touch it down to the ground. We don't have to open super big here at first. You maybe just need a little bit of motion here. Just about 10, we'll go ahead and switch sides. Flatten that right palm out, engage completely on the floor. In 2, 1, plant the left hand, inhale that right arm up, and twist it through. A little more than halfway through. Then we'll take it to that wide mountain climber. Again, with every twist, we should find a little bit more motion. And plank it up. So again, wide mountain climber. Start here with a smaller range of motion and build that step on that step as we find a little more flexibility. There you go, team, halfway. We are stretching out through those hips. If you need to hang out in one before we step it back, so be it. Get a little extra flexibility. We're coming up on just about 15 seconds. Final 5. And plank walkouts. So again, we're going to find ourselves in that plank position. Walk those hands back towards the feet, keeping as much of the hand down on the ground and the legs straight as possible. We're going to stand it up, hinge it over. We're not bending over, hinge it over with that flat back. If we need to, we bend the knees. Halfway. There you go, team. We have about 15 seconds. Then we'll stand it up and we'll stay standing up. In that walk out and that walk back, make sure we're not shifting the hips side to side. The body is locked and firm. Only thing that's moving are those hands. And switch it up, lateral shift to punch. Feet are about 3 times hip distance apart. Drop it into that right hip, into that right heel. Extend the right arm, bring it up through midline and left side. We want to challenge ourselves a little bit more. We can make that dynamic, well, a little bit more dynamic, if you will, by punching it forward as we shift it side to side. halfway. Keep those hips back. Don't let those knees come forward. I know it's harder that way. That's kind of the point. Last one's going to be those seal jacks, opening and closing through the chest in about 15 seconds. Tuck your tailbone underneath. Tighten through that bottom abdominal section. Pull your belly button in. In 3, 2, 1. There you go, guys. Seal jacks, 30 seconds. Open and close those arms. If we need to, we step it instead. Nice, 15. Three, 2, 1. Nice job. So let's talk about block number 1 of 4. We seem to be losing friends every day, guys. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. So 6 minutes, 3 exercises, upper body with a little core hidden in there. Hip, hinge, tricep, kick back. Hinging it over, gluing the belly button to the spine. Press the weights towards the ceiling. We then are going to find ourselves coming into a hip bridge chest fly. Notice that her hips are squeezed the entire time. Knees are at a 90-degree angle. If we need to, put the hips down and do the chest fly upon the floor. Last but not least, we're going palms to elbow plank position. Down to your elbows, back up to your palms. If we need to, we take it on our knees. Imagine that you had a bowl of soup balanced on your back. Don't spill a drip. We got 6 minutes here, 10 reps. Let's begin. So again, on that tricep kickback, it's really tempting to make it all about the bicep curl on the way back, but that's not what's happening. We are fighting gravity to extend those arms out behind us, squeezing at the top, and then letting gravity take those hands back down to the hips. There you go. Don't be focused on the pull forward. Be focused on the press back. Can't wait till we get back in the studio and I can give you guys weight options. So what will be happening when we go back into Annapolis and to the Columbia area, we'll be finding ourselves with our own weight rack. Nobody's going to touch our weight rack, but there is opportunity to change weights up if we need to. And that palms to elbow, again, no Shakira hips. You lock it up and in, squeeze everything to the spine, pull the shoulders back and down, and move with control. 2 minutes down. Back to the beginning. Adjusting weights is necessary, adjusting the tempo. So maybe the weights we have aren't heavy enough, but we don't have another opportunity. So slow it down. Extend the weights to the back, pause at the top, and lower with control. Tuck those elbows in. Don't let those arms fly back. We're not using posterior deltoids. We're using the back of the arm, tricep burn. this block is moving like greased lightning. We have just about 2.5 minutes left. Ideally, we're getting through at least 2 times. Remember that hip bridge. The feet need to only be hip distance apart. If you can look down over your hip and see your heel sticking way out, you need to narrow that stance. Seconds, guys. You got this. You got this. I know the team's dwindling down. It may be also because people are going back to work. We'll find ourselves being able to go back into the studio as of next week. Doesn't mean we'll continue to play here. Just to make sure that everybody feels comfortable and is still getting their sweat on. Coming up in just about a minute. There you go. You still got time, guys. Don't wait for the clock to roll through. So I'm press it just a little bit more. Just a little bit harder here for the final 30 seconds. $15. I shouldn't have laid down. In 3, 2, 1. Finish up those reps if you need to, and in balance. Block number 2 of 4. We're here for 8 minutes, guys. We're going to be working 4 rounds through. Little cardio, little core. So we're going to start with jumping jacks. 20 seconds on. I'll take a good 10-second recovery. Then we're going incline plank Spider-Man. So it's a little bit easier than being down on the floor. We can pick up that pace to bring up that heart rate. If you want to, you can take it into that plank position on the ground instead. We're then going into a bicycle, driving the elbow towards the opposite knee, shoulders off the ground. Let's think about driving your shoulder as opposed to your elbow. Don't close those clamshells. We're then going to find ourselves coming into an incline running man. Once more, hands are on the bench, on the chair. Drive the knee towards the forearm. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds recovery, 4 times through. We're getting started with those jumping jacks. Let's begin. Come on, come on. If we need to, we can step jack instead. Grabbing problems with those shoulders in the upper portion. We can always take it into a seal jack. There you go. And rest. We're going to take it here for 10 seconds. That's why he's frozen. We're then going to come into that incline plank Spider-Man. Again, if you don't have something to incline, just do it on the floor. And begin. Bring the elbow or the knee to touch the tricep. Don't think about touching the arm. Think about touching the back of the arm. Try to hit that spot that's sore. That muscle group we were just working on. There you go in 3, 2, 1. Take a break. We are going to take it down to the ground. Get into that bicycle position because we only got 5. 3, 2, 1. Bicycles, 20 seconds. Come on, drive it out, drive it out. It's only 20 seconds, guys. 10 of them are done. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. We got 10 seconds. Then we're finding ourselves in that incline running man. Hands on the bench, hands on the seat, hands on the chair, plank position if that's all we got. 20 seconds and begin. Keep those shoulders over those wrists. Don't let your body run away from your hands. Halfway. And 3, 2, 1. And rest 10 seconds. One round done. Back to the jumping jacks. Heels again if those shoulders are bugging you. In 2, 1. Begin. Halfway, pick up that pace just a little bit. Come on. Showed up to do work, not just to go through the motions. And rest. 10 seconds and we're going to incline plank Spider-Man. So again, the point of a Spider-Man is to get that inner thigh flat. Think about a tree pose if we were in yoga. Begin. Again, because we're on that inclined surface, we can pick up the pace a little bit without losing form. Hold that core tight. Shoulders in that set position. 5, 2, 1, and rest. Go ahead and just take it right down to the ground, guys. Breathing on the floor, big deep ones. Because in bicycles, in 3, 2, 1, bicycles. Pull your toe back towards your nose and drive out through the heel. Drive it. We're going downhill in Tour de France. Working those heels as hard as we can. In 2, 1, and rest. We only have 10 seconds until we go running man. So you better go ahead and find that space and breathe right here, right now. Because in 2, 1, begin. Telling you guys, you're my tough tigers. You showed up today, so let's put in the work. We got about 10 or about 5. And 3, 2, 1, and pause. Guys, that's good news. That's halfway through the block. So we're gonna find ourselves working once more, coming into those jumping jacks. Begin. Come on, round number 3. It always feels the hardest. Just a mental game, 10 seconds at a time. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10 seconds to breathe. Then we're going incline plank Spider-Man. It's hard to say the extra, no, it's not hard to say, but just to do it. In 2, 1, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. So again, it's about keeping the pelvis flat to the floor and opening up through the hip. There's a little side crunch in there, and there's 5 seconds to go. And rest. Woo. Find ourselves down on the ground. Once more, we bicycle. Drive it out through those heels. I know those obliques are tired, but I promise it's when we're tired and we continue to go that we get stronger. 2, 1, and pause. It's not the first 3 reps. Sometimes it's not even the first 20, but it's those ones we don't want to do. In 2, 1, and then we keep driving ourselves for running man. Come on. At this point in our workout, there are only 30 seconds left of running man today. So drive it up, drive it up. Come on, pick up that pace. For 3, 2, 1, and rest. Stand it up, so we're ready for those jumping jacks here in round number 4. Round number 4 is always the quickest, feels mentally the best. Roll shoulders back and down, smile on your face. Jumping jacks. Get an optioning out if we need to. If you feel like jumping jacks are kind of boring, make your step bigger. See what happens when you increase that range of motion. Straighten out those arms. In 2, 1, relax. So a lot of times we get complacent in things like jumping jacks and squats. Really bringing that attention and awareness can help take it to the next level. Incline plank Spider-Man, let's go. Last time we're doing it. Really hope so, because otherwise I'm promising you guys an awful lot. Whoop. Halfway. Come on, body weight forward. And 2, 1, and rest. Just take it down to the ground. And 2, 1, begin. Bicycles, drive out through that heel. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Remember, armpits are open. Airing them out to the world. In 5, 2, and 1. Beautiful. 10 seconds, guys, and then we're going to that final running people position. Plank it up. Goes in 3, 2, 1, begin. 20 seconds of drives. So again, it's not a cross body drive. We've done enough of those. It's a straightforward. Think knee to elbow. Come on. You have 5 seconds. Sprint it out. In 2, 1, and done. Hot damn. Woo. 10 seconds. Take this time. Walk around. Breathe it out. In 2, 1. Let's talk about block number 3. Woo. We're back to strength here. We're hitting it with a hip hinge high row. So we're gonna grab those 2 medium weights. High row is elbows up and out. Think about trying to tap the elbows behind your back, but keeping your armpits open the entire time. Straight line from those hands to the shoulders. We're then gonna find ourselves in an upright row. What's the difference? We are now using the middle deltoids and our traps. So that's the thing that sexy wrestlers have, that when the muscle goes from their ear to their shoulder, they got that big beef neck. Think about lifting through that with that upright row. Not shrugging, but lifting up through the middle. Incline single arm plank low row. If we need to split the stance, if we want to, we can always take it down onto the ground. Finding ourselves 10 reps, and 10 on each. 6 minutes, we repeat until time is up. If you need me, lay me down. Otherwise, let's get going. So again, those first 2 exercises, we're really thinking armpits, open. In that last exercise, we are thinking armpits closed. I don't know where the hiccups came from. Remember that pause at the hardest part of the exercise is where we build muscle fibers. Time under tension is what builds those strong, beautiful backs. So again, think about squeezing through the middle of the shoulders. Think about stacking the top of the spine with those traps. Palms are always facing towards you. Elbows are going to fly higher than the wrists. Again, if we don't have an inclined surface, we can always take it onto the ground for a plank row. But make sure that we are getting all of them completed on one side before we move to the other side. interesting. Orange Theory has done an awful lot of lower body and core exercises during the time of COVID. And I actually 100% from a functional trainer standpoint, 100% would understand where they're coming from. The reason being that right now we're doing a lot of sitting and we're doing a lot of not using our core. But I do love me a good upper body lift day, especially now that we're coming into July, we're allowed to go outside. There you go, guys. We're more than halfway through. So only about 2 minutes left here in the block. Try to make sure we get all the way through at least 2 times. Ooh, shoulder cap, a burnout. I love it. Oof. There you go, 90 seconds, guys. Then we're gonna take it down to a core block. It's just gonna be core at the end. So it's not gonna all be on the ground. No more upper body. Again, pause at the top. Don't let ourselves bounce. Muscles, not momentum. Nice, Andy, nice, Leah. Good job on that form, guys. There you go, Ann. So we got a little less than 45 seconds left. If we're working on that plank row, maybe we should alternate it so that we find ourselves in a little bit of balance, as opposed to getting 10 done on one side and the other arm feels like it's left out of the party. $15. Come on, guys, you got this. 5 seconds. And rest. If we need to, you can finish up to make sure we find balance on the other side. Talking here about block number 4, 8 minutes of fun. Final before we stretch it out. We're going to start here with a seated torso rotation. You know, we call them Russian twists, but have to be PC again. We're going to find ourselves sitting upon the ground, shoulders back and down in that set position, belly button to the spine. We're going to twist and twist. If you want to take those heels off the ground, you better be able to keep the back flat. The minute the back arches, those heels go down on the ground. Maybe we go fancy and just take only 1 foot off the ground. We're then going to find ourselves standing up. That's what that big arm swing was, to indicate that we are standing up. Seated or standing wood chopper. So we start down by one knee and we take it up and around. So instead of thinking about chopping wood, think about swinging a golf club. Once we get through, how many? 15 on one side, we're going 15 on the other side. That's going to be that kind of lighter weight, maybe a medium one. Weighted single leg V-up, crunch and crunch. Very similar to the weighted pike from yesterday, so enjoy that one. We're then going to find ourselves in a hollow hold figure 8. Yeah, buddy, lightweight, or maybe even just like a tissue or something that we get the concept of. Holding the shoulders off the ground, holding the legs off the ground. We're going to drive the legs out. We're going to pass the weight underneath. If we need to, tap those heels down. Instead, that is okie dokies. So, any questions? Hey, Brian, let's get going. Oh, we can't hear you because you're in headphones. That's right. 30, guys. This is an E of that ESP. Seated torso rotation. If you don't have a weight and you don't want to use one, that's fine. Body weight is more than enough a lot of times on some of these core moves. Again, super important. Shoulders back and down, chest up and proud. Man, whew. Only through exercise number 1, and these reps are already no joke. So again, endurance, guys. The goal is to keep moving the entire 8 minutes of this block. We don't have to go fast. We just don't want to stop. If you, like me, those wood choppers make you a little bit dizzy, you just have to find something on the floor, something on the wall that doesn't move, use it as your focal point, or between the sets, just take a little moment to kind of walk around and catch your orientation. Remember, don't let that weight pull your lower back. You are stopping it with that core, locking it up at the top. And I don't know if you're going for extra credit. It is a single leg alternating. You're doing amazing with both of those legs, though. Like, way to go above and beyond, Sunshine. There you go. You don't have to redo all of them. Oh, you now have a friend. Always. You got good control on that figure 8, even with a little dog love. Keep it up, team. We're coming home just about halfway. As always, our goal is at least 2 rounds through. Beautiful, guys, beautiful. That is halfway through. We got 3 minutes under about, just or more than halfway through. We are just 3 minutes till the end. back to the standing wood choppers. So again, think about going to the gym, like the gym, and you find this machine that has all these weird handle positions, and you see someone grabbing it from the bottom and twisting up towards the sky with their arms extended. It's cable crossed, so think about that twist through the torso. So we pull up, stopping at the top with that weighted single leg V up. How flat can you make your back? Don't curl your way up. Try to lift your chest like there are a magnet in your sternum pulling you to the ceiling. 90 seconds left. That's all we got, guys. Just all we got. Woohoo! Guys, final minute. 60 seconds left in this core block, 60 seconds left in your workout today. In that single leg V up, we're not taking the arms up overhead. Keep those arms extended towards the ceiling to really challenge the core. Okay, guys, we're coming up on just about 10 seconds. Don't quit now. Drive it all the way through. In 3, 2, 1, shut her down. Stay down on the ground, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the laptop and bring it down here. Well, let's go ahead. Take a moment for a couple of good deep breaths. So again, when we talked about it a little bit, when we go back to Orange Theory, all of the stretches are going to start as standing stretches. We're going to find ourselves no longer sitting on the floor in a big communal group. We'll be standing behind our equipment and getting our stretches done right there at our station. But while we still have time in the basement glow, we'll do floor stretches. Lay it down. Feet are about hip distance apart. Knees are at a 90-degree angle. Go ahead and reach those arms up towards the sky and draw circles with the wrists. I promise I'll make you go the other direction, don't worry. And opposite direction. Make the circles big. Feel that stretch. Ooh, that power washing muscle, it's really tired today. But man, those stairs look insane. Go ahead and shake them out. Bring the arms out into a lowercase t. That just means they're coming straight out of the shoulder sockets, palms down to the ground. Bring the knees up to a 90-90. That means hips are at a 90 and knees are at a 90 as well. Big breath in. Exhale, both knees to the right-hand side. So let those legs fall, come all the way down to the ground, even if the left shoulder comes up off the floor. Let's let the knees relax. Take the right hand to the outside of the right leg and give it a little gentle assist. Now I want you to turn the left palm down to the ground. It's going to make it feel a little funny and maybe not even touch the floor, and that's okay. So you're going to start to walk the left hand away from the body using the palm of the left hand and the elbow of the right arm to help bring the left shoulder down. I know that was a lot of words, but we're using the right elbow, pulling against the left leg and pressing against the floor to assist the shoulder to the earth. Big deep breaths in. When we exhale, walk those fingers a little bit farther away. Inhale, refill the body. Exhale, walk those fingers away. One more big breath in. Exhale, bring those knees through midline. Hug them close. Ooh. Take those arms out to lowercase t, hips and knees, 90-90. Big breath in, exhale, legs to the left. So now you know what we're looking for. Twist it all the way over. Left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Squeeze it down to the ground to find the left elbow upon the earth. Right palm turns down to the ground. Walk the right fingers away, pulling the left or the right shoulder down. Press the left elbow into the floor, twisting through the torso. I know it's so many words. I'm trying my best to make them make the most sense. But if you have questions, if you're not sure what's supposed to be happening, let me know. We should feel this twist anywhere from our abdominal muscles through our shoulder capsule into our chest. Every inhale, we refill the body. Every exhale, we wring the body out like a sponge, just a little bit more. From here, I know it sounds funny, but we're going to roll that right shoulder in, rolling onto our right side or onto our left side and continuing all the way over onto our tummies. Place those hands on either side of the chest and we're going to lift into a baby or a taller cobra. The goal in our cobra is to have our pelvis down to the ground. So if the pelvis is lifting up, just lower it down. That's okay. Think squeezing shoulders back. Think strengthening through the lower back. We should be able to reach a point at some point where we can lift the hands up and still stay just as tall. Exhale, release it down. Inhale through kneeling plank. Exhale back to child's pose. Tuck the lower body under your upper body. Waterfall and melt the upper body over the knees. Walk the fingers as far forward as you can. Feel that stretch as we turn the armpits towards the ground. Keeping those arms extended just as far as they are right here, right now. Inhale, shoulders over wrists into a kneeling plank. Tuck the toes, straighten the legs, lift the hips, and drop the heels, downward facing dog. We can bicycle those feet, dropping one heel, bending the opposite knee, and alternating. Once more to each side. Lift up on both sets of tippy toes. Really hips up. And exhale, heels back. Press through the palms to flatten the feet to the floor. Walk the hands back just like we did in our warm-up. And then we're going to roll it up one vertebrae at a time. When we reach the top, roll the shoulders back and down. Big breath in. You might be a little lightheaded. I know. Exhale, drop those shoulders back. Enjoying the free yogic high we offer with every class. Go ahead and find yourselves with a little round of applause for you and a little round of applause for your neighbors. You guys did awesome today. Mighty team.